those who are interested for bug bounty hunting as pen testers. And we already know that there are different approach to web application penetration testing as much as we have different approach to bug bounty hunting, even though we know that we are still finding bugs on applications and systems, but there's always a an approach to finding vulnerabilities in bug bounty hunting and web application penetration testing. We already know that as a web application penetration tester, we need to find out little details like the server the web app is running on, the programming language. All of those things are what you're looking for as a web application penetration tester. But when it comes to bug bounty hunting, there are a few approach one would want to take to easily find bug reports and get bounties, and at the same time help organizations grow in their businesses and help them secure their data on the digital space. So we're going to be covering a few tips and tricks on how a bug bounty hunter would want to create a mindset today and how to get started. This is a complete introduction class, but we'll try to be able to get a few especially find a few bugs in this particular webinar. So let's get into it. Now I assume everybody who is watching this video or who join this section want to find or understand how to find bugs. So the first thing you would want to do is, I think you should have had a level of knowledge of Kali, that's a Linux operating system, because on your screen is my Kali Linux, and you should have known how to navigate to this point. You know how to make the few Kali commands. See, you don't have to know everything to be a bug hunter. You just need to understand the important methodologies on how to go finding bugs. And while you continue, these things will become clearer and better for you. Now, quickly, this is what I teach people to do, right? If you are interested to get into bug bounty hunting, first thing I advise you to do is go get the skill. What is the skill? You can come to this website, Portswigger. Sorry guys, you guys are going to bear with me. My machine is actually lagging for because of I'm trying to record the screen so I'll be able to share it for those who would want to have the video later. So please my screen will be lagging because my recording screen is also on, so you just bear with me and let's follow suit. So this is Portswigger. It's a website where penetration testers go to learn. It's an academy, and there are different labs here where you can get started. So one of the first things you do is you have to go to Portswigger. I'm already logged in. This is the account I created for training, but I advise you get logged in. And when you get logged in, you fill up your personal information. And when you're done filling all those information, the next important thing to do is you are being set. Either you go through their learning to understand each of the unswap top 10 bugs, or you basically just switch directly to the labs. Then one of the things you need to know is, what is bug bounty hunting? We already said that bug hunting is simply the security researchers who find vulnerabilities and bugs in different systems and report it to the owners of, or the platforms where these bugs are found. And we already know that there are different bug bounty platforms out there. There are different bug bounty platforms out there that you can be their bug hunter. We have HackerOne, we have Bug Crowd. These are platforms where companies like Facebook, Apple, all of these other big companies you already know register their website there or have their website on those platforms for you, a bug hunter, to come in, pick the bugs, or pick the asset, or the kind of um website, because people like to hack for e-commerce, news websites. Depending the kind of platform you want to find bugs on, you can register on one and be their bug hunter. But as for me, I'm an integrity hunter. I've hacked with HackerOne a long time ago, stopped, and I prefer the system, the program rules and regulation in integrity, and that's why I'm an integrity hunter. But this is a list of all the top 10 bug bounty platforms you can get registered and start finding bug and start getting paid. There's Bugcrowd, there's HackerOne, there's Signac, there's Cobalt. There are a lot of them. So all I would want you to do is get into this platform, get an account for yourself, so start finding bugs. It's been a beautiful journey being a bug hunter. One of the first thing I had to do was I learned what is website hacking. What is a website? How is a website built? All of those information. You should have a level of knowledge of CXS, a level of knowledge of HTML, a good knowledge of JavaScript, Python, or PHP, because we know the website is built on this language, so that um, when you encounter the website, you can open the source code or the developer tool, which is the console, and you're finding bugs because you understand how the website is built. But this is a complete introductory class, so we're not going to be going into all of those, but gradually we'll get to that. We're going to be organizing different sections that will bring us to the level where you start playing around with their scripts and their source code, and that will be awesome. So friends, with no further ado, let me quickly show you a few tips and tricks I will do as a bug hunter who just got started. Now, let's say I've registered with these platforms. I've registered with them, and I told you that I'm an integrity hunter. Let me quickly take you to my account on integrity. So I told you I'm an integrity hunter. This is my integrity account. All you need to do is come to integrity, get registered, and you know how to feed the necessary information, email, password, every of the information that we get you profiled on this website. But this is my account. I'm already logged in. I created this account for the purpose of this meeting. Now these are websites. Come to the program board. There's a place called, this is my dashboard, and this is me opening programs. You see programs like these are different companies, and these are what they can offer you to find bug. So we can just keep going down, and you keep seeing different companies, like see Azena, this is Agenta. There are a lot of them. We can keep going down from with this number button that we can keep directing it to go all down to find companies that are out here and willing and ready to pay you. One of the first thing I'll do, if I already understand what the website is, how a website is built as web structure and web architecture, I understand the top 10 vulnerabilities, which is the OS top 10 vulnerability, cross-site scripting attack, SQL injection, what is this called? Um, IDOS, insecure security vulnerabilities, and all of those top 10 vulnerabilities on swap 10, you can check them out on OWASP 10. You realize that I chose, let's say you chose, after you've learned how to find this thing on the different websites by using Bob Swigger, where I told you to get registered as a hunter. Let me quickly show you that. If you remember that I showed you, okay, yeah, I showed you my screen as when I'm my account on Bob Potswigger. I told you to relax with me. My machine is really lagging because of the screen recording going on. So yeah, but this is the Potswigger, right? Okay. Yeah, this is a potswigger.net, and this is my academy account, right? So I can easily come down to, this is if you want to have their learning materials, and if you want to have their labs, you could just easily navigate to each one by clicking. So, friends, if you've already on this platform and you've learned different ways on how to find those vulnerability, I recommend you come to portswigger.net to learn those different top vulnerabilities you can find on website, because it is explained and there are labs for you to try. On here, those vulnerabilities are explained, and you're also given the opportunity to hack the labs even without paying. You don't need to pay to have access to this particular platform unless you want a premium service, which then you would have to pay. So all I would want to do is click on the lab and open the lab. Now I hope you guys are following me to this point where I start by saying first you need to understand the vulnerabilities that websites can be vulnerable to, and we said there is a body that has given us those top 10 vulnerability, and I said it's OS top 10. And I said that if you've learned these 10 things, and one of the places you can come to learn it is this particular website, portswigger.net. This is the first place I had an access to when I got started as a bug hunter, because I feel it gives you a total explanation of every of the bugs. So because of the time, I'm not going to be taking you through the learning labs. I'm just going to take you through the vulnerability lab. So I'll just click view all. Okay, I think I'm going to close some tabs so that I'll close these tabs so I'll be able to have a more, probably make the machine work faster. Yeah. Okay, so we are back here and I'm trying to access the lab. Now this is where we're going to get practical, because let's say you understand the top 10 vulnerabilities and you want to find the bug in a website. One of the tips and trick I was giving some years ago was look for one vulnerability on every website. Now, the problem many bug hunters do is you understand SQL injection, you understand command injection, you understand all of these injections, and you want to try all of them because obviously, yes, I learned everything. I should find them on bug bounty platform. But I'm saying that's a wrong approach, because then everything gets voluminous and it makes you tire out. But if you're doing a web penetration testing, yes, you should do all of those. You should be able to tell the company, I tested this, I tested this, I tested for cross-site scripting attack, I didn't find any, or I found this and this is the recommendation. You should be able to do all of those, right? But I commend highly. All of the bug I found and gotten paid was because stayed with one bug. I stayed with one bug, right? I basically was finding one bug on I was finding one bug on every website. So when I get into my integrity and choose a company to hack for, what I do is I quickly start finding what is this thing called? SQL attack and cross-site scripting or SQL attack. Everybody know that I love to find SQL and bug and cross-site scripting attack. So that is one of the attacks I'm going to cover in this particular lab today. Okay. Okay, so these are the labs, right? So we have SQL attack. We have these are different labs you can cover. So there's no how you're going to cover all of these labs and you've not understood SQL vulnerability and how to find it. Now, after that, there is cross-site scripting attack. This is cross-site scripting attack. This is for cross-site scripting attack. You have to solve the whole lab. Remember, I told you first you can go for the learning, and after the learning, you can come for the cross-site scripting. You can start trying to solve their labs, and there are different types of cross-site scripting attack. There is dumb cross-site scripting, there is reflected, and there is what is this called? And there is stored cross-site scripting, and each of these things has different what is it called, price. That's where we now come to the CVs. That's the common vulnerability exposures. Now you can't be a bug hunter and you don't understand what a CV is, and you cannot even be a penetration tester and you don't understand what a CV is, right? I think you should quickly do a personal research on what a CV is, but we already know that they are common It's called common vulnerabilities and exposures. It lets you know the severity of the particular vulnerability you find on that particular website. Now, if this is an article, if you go all the way down, you see that you know the severity of whatever you find, because on the website they will tell you. When I opened integrity, you saw that I was told I can be paid up to 1,000, 2,000 euros or pounds or dollar, depending on the platform you're registering in. Now, depending on the kind of bug you find, if you find a low level or a low severity bug, you're not going to be paid as high as $1,000 and stuff. But if you find a high level vulnerability, or you know how to chain vulnerability, probably you see a command injection attack and you're able to turn it into RCE, then you get paid because that's a severe vulnerability. Or if you're able to dump the database of the website, then that's a severe vulnerability, and the charges for that, or what you get, the bounty you get for that, is very high. So that's what common vulnerability. Okay, this is what I was trying to show you. So we see um this is the severity. There's none, there's low, there's medium, there's critical. So, and we have the tier one, we have the tier two. So you need to go and find out every of the bugs on the unswap 10, which of the severity level are they in? Are they in the tier one, tier two, tier three? So that when you're finding the bug, you know, okay, this bug is this. After I had this understanding, what I did is I picked SQL attack and cross-site scripting attack, because I know it affects the business model, and then the company are willing and ready to pay higher for those kind of vulnerability. Um, I'm trying to close most of my tabs so I'll be able to have a more seamless screen. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you two ways to find. Let's say you've known all of these things and as you've picked cross-site scripting as the attack system you would want to find on every website. Let's say you want to be a cross-site scripter and that's what you want to find on website. I'll show you how to find one of them and then explain the methodology for you as a bug hunter. Now we're starting. I think I've spent the past 10-15 minutes explaining the mindset of a bug hunter. Now I want to show you, if you've chosen cross-site scripting as an attack you would want to find on website. Now the first thing you want to do as a hacker or a penetration tester is you want to crawl. Let's say you've picked your target when you went to any of the platform you got registered integrity. Let's say my target is the sports swigger, because I cannot use most of those websites right here on on live to show you for one or two security purposes, but I'm going to use these labs to show you the same thing I would do on those companies. Now this portswigger.net, and I've chosen them to be, what is it called, my attack system. Now I'll come to my terminal. This is my terminal, guys. Okay, so this is my terminal, right? Now I've started hacking. I have been speaking for most of the first 15 minutes of this section. Now I want to show you how to find cross-site scripting and what would you want to do as a bug hunter. Now this is your terminal. Looking at you, you've chosen your target to be portswigger.net, and then you want to start. One of the first thing I recommend is, I wouldn't want you to do an mmap, because you already know that the port 8 is open. That is why you are able to access the website. For you to be able to have the website on the web on your browser means, if you do an mmap attack, mmap scan on this website, you see that the port 8 is open. So we wouldn't want to check that. But quickly, what we want to do is we want to use this command. It's called gearbuster. Now there are different directory boxsters or directory scanners, or what are directory scanners. Now we know that on every website there are parameters. Sometimes I said something in one of our community where I said, if you want to find some hidden information that websites doesn't want you to see by just going to their website, you put a maybe after the website name, and you put a slash, what is it called, you put a slash robot.txt, security.txt. Probably they are hiding something that they want to put out on the cloud, but they don't want you to have access to it. So that slash, so what we're going to do is we're trying to do what we call directly busting. So I'm going to use a tool called Debuster. Deb. Now there are different tools that can do this fuzzing. It's called fuzzing. People call it directory brute forcing. Some people call it parameter brute forcing. Whatever it is, but I'm trying to tell you that while forcing, we have a list of words that we've downloaded. Sometimes it's come by default, like this command.txt on the screen comes by default with what is it called? With it comes by default with Kali. So but you can also get or build your own directly list or your database list that you can use to do this fuzzing. Now there's a fourth, there's a dear buster, there's a go buster, but because of the level of this class, and then I believe that we have a lot of beginners who do want to be confused as they get started, I'm going to be using dear buster, this dev. So the command is simple. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this. Okay, so the command is simple. I'm saying that deb is a tool. I want you to sorry, let me try getting this again. So what you're saying is, Daybuster, you're a tool that does directly fuzzing, right? Okay, I want you, and I'm going to check a HTTPS website. I already know everybody understand what an HTTP website is. A HTTP website is the same thing with HTTP, but the difference for the X is showing that this is secured. You're accessing a secured version of the website, so you are secured, right? Sometimes we are told that the website is not stealing our cookie, our informations and data. Hackers are not using it to get to us because we believe that if it is having an X, then that website is secured. So this is you're going to fill in the parts to the directory busting you would want to do. So the company we're trying to do this directory busting is called hamzuri.com, and then the dash W is showing me the path to where this particular um um word list is stored. So that's dash slash usr dash slash user slash share slash deb slash word list slash mutation underscore common dot txt. Now everybody, I think you have this with your Kali if your Kali is up to date, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'll go back to my terminal and I'm going to let me copy it again. I'll go back to my terminal and I'm going to paste this on my terminal, and then but before I even paste this on my terminal, how did I get the common.txt for those who would want to know how to navigate to where the list or the word list is saved? One of the first thing you do is you use the locate command. So you just locate word list, right? And then you click enter, and then it will show you this is a ton of word lists, right? These are different word lists stored on your Kali you can use to find, or you can use for directly brute forcing or fuzzing of a web directories. Do you understand? Okay, if we already understand this, quickly let me clear my screen so that I can run that attack and show you. Okay, now my screen is cleared, right? Now I want to run that directory brute forcing. I'll just paste. Okay, I've pasted it and I'll run the attack. Now see what is happening, right? What this tool is doing is taking the information stored on this my word list and trying it over hamsry.com slash. Remember I told you something like slash robot.txt. So it's using different words, different information words to see if there are parameters like that on this website, and if there are parameters like that or search options like that. What we do is we quickly go there and see if there are informations we can use to pivot our attack on the website. So this being said, see it it will keep crawling the website. I'm using these words to brute force or to force the website to see if there are informations like these out there on the cloud that we can access. Now, this can take a while depending on your word list. If your word list is big, it takes a lot of time. But if your word list is small, because a lot of people don't like to use the generic word list, they like to create their own word list by themselves. If your word list is big, then this takes a lot of time. But if it doesn't, then the this attack should stop in the next few minutes. Now, what happens is, for every information it finds to you, what it does is it gives you the slash. Now, we already find that there is a slash XRC, a source code, and then we're seeing 300. If you're already a good student of web hacking, you should have understood that 300 means 300, and 301, 302, 304 means you're being redirected to somewhere, and that's interesting. If you get a 200, means okay, this place is accessible by you. You should have understood the different status code of um websites. The 200, the 300, the 400, the 500, all of those information are needed for this particular attack to continue. So this is one of the first thing I'll do on the website I choose, any of the platform I choose. I try to brute force, or I try to force their directory list, to see if there are juicy informations I can extract to work with. Now, as a penetration tester, this also is a very good practice, and as a bug hunter, this is also a very good practice. Now, the next thing you would want to do is called Google docking. Google docking is just using some search syntaxes on Google to find heavy information, or some information that the administrator or developer left on the internet, or as regarding that website, and they don't know it's out there, but because it's not on the website and you can't view it directly, they feel it is saved. But for hackers, what they would want to do is go to those kind of places and find those juicy information and report. I've had a lot of people report and get paid for just using Google docking to find information. And in fact, I've seen a lot of people submit bugs by just using their Bugster, FOF, or any of these directly busting tools, and they found some juicy information and they screenshotted it and sent to the companies, and they got bounties. So this is one of the healthy things to do: information gathering, recognizance. If you know the 5 stages of hacking, or the 5 steps or methodology in hacking: information gathering, scanning, exploits, and closing the back door and maintaining access. All of those steps, if you understand them, you know that information gathering, the amount of information you have over your target, is the success you're going to have. So this is still brute forcing, but I just wanted to show you this, and then I'm not going to be going directly to these parameters, because I can also show that on live. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the attack, but I think you understand what we're trying to say. It's going to keep crawling on the website, trying to find the different parameters with juicy information that you can use. So if this is okay, then we're going to do a control C to stop the attack, right? So friends, if I've done this, I told you we can use different tools to find this information. We can use a Dearbuster, we can use a GoBuster, we can use a FOF, but one of my favorites is FOF. I had to use this for a very simple understanding. And I think if your Kali is up to date, these two should be there by default. Now that I've done this, I've seen that there is a, if you're looking at this place, there's a socks code, there's slash underscore source. I can actually just copy this and go to my browser and paste it, and probably there are beautiful information I can find there, but we won't do that for the sake of program rules and security. Now, let's come back again to, okay, let's come back again to my tab. Now we're doing cross-site scripting attack. So what is cross-site scripting attack? Let's say I'd already chosen my target, I've crawled them. Now you have to be multitasking. While the fourth or the Dearbuster is running, you start checking manually for other vulnerabilities. Now, one of the first things I need to say to you, if you want to be a bug hunter, you need to learn how to find bugs manually, because most of those programs will tell you they don't want you to use more than 5 tools, or they don't want you to use more than 1 or 2 tools on their website. So you don't want to cause denial of service. You don't want to flood their website with fuzzing by forcing it and then causing a denial of service, or sending too many requests to the server and causing denial of service, and that is out of the scope. So you have to learn how to find these bugs on this website manually. Now let's say I'm picking this bug, right? I'm picking cross-site scripting attack, and I want to find it on different websites. Now what I will quickly do, why this open, what I'll quickly do is I'll go to the website and start trying. Okay, what I'll do, let me show you with my Bob suite, hoping that Bob suite opens faster. I'm really sorry, my machine is lagging. We'll fix that. And there's another way to do the same crawling and spidering of the website with your Bob suite. This same Portswigger, they have a tool called Bob suite. And if you want to be a penetration tester, that's one of the two that should be, that's one of the two you should have handy. Okay. So I'm going to clear the screen right now so that we'll have a clearer screen. Now I want to run my bulb. One of the ways to know if you have it, you do an ls. So I'm running with the sudo privilege, so I would have to put the password, and the tool is started already. So while this is loading, Bobsuit is a tool used by security researchers. It helps you to automate a few attacks, and it helps you to also find some bug manually. So what Bobsuit is one of my favorite tools I will always go for as a penetration tester or a web application penetration tester. While this is starting up, I'm going to take the same portswigger.net and do a quick, okay. So while this tool is starting up, what we're going to do? Okay, now it started already. So this is going to look very voluminous for those who don't understand what uh the tool is and is used and can be used for. Now there are different options and parameters here. And one of the things I've learned over time is consistency. When you keep using a tool over a long time, you understand how to use it perfectly. So I'm going to make the dashboard clean enough for you to understand. Most of these are attacks I've done before now, and they are all stored on the screen, but I'm going to clear them so you get a seamless dashboard. Yeah. Now this is my dashboard. Now if you check, you can start a new scan and you can start a live task, right? So there's a browser here you can use to what is it called? Do this attack. Let's say you have a system and you don't have the any of the browsers out there. You can use just this particular Bob suite. It has a browser where you can paste the website you're trying to attack here. So one of the first thing I'll do is I'll come back here. Oh, I'll start a live attack. I'll start a live attack, right? Yeah. I'm trying to make it please, if you can hear me, I would want you to drop a message on the chat box so that we're sure we're in the same spot. Yeah, I want to. This is the scan details. I want to scan and audit, but no, I like to just do only. Okay, this is a short way to go through it by just using the browser directly, right? But what if we decide to use a tool? I think it's also beautiful to show you this, right? Come back here. What if we decide to use this tool called Foxy Proxy? And then I will turn on my set up this Foxy Proxy. Foxy Proxy is a tool used to automate switching from the Bob Suite is a proxy tool. So it allows the website to be the website you're trying to reach to be proxied through the Bob Suite before it gets to the server of the website. And when information is coming back to you, goes through your Bob Suite and returns back to you on your default browser. So what if I want to automate this instead of going back to settings, switch to proxy? This setting has been done already. What if I choose this? Now my Bob Suite is on. Then all I need to do is come back to my, and then I'll come back to, so I'll come to proxy. This is proxy. And in proxy, I'll put the intercept on off. Right now it's on, right? And then I'll come back to this place. I'll come back to the browser and then I'll open the same port swigger. This is port swigger, right? And then I try to refresh this page and see if our tool is going to trap it. So the tool trapped it. That's what happened. Our Bob suite trapped that request we sent to the portswigger.net website, right? So now this is the web information, right? This is the HTML function, the JavaScript function, the all of these things. I'm trying to make sure I'm explaining this for an absolute beginner, right? Now, if you look at this information, you're going to see their parameters. There's a
Please,
key.
hi, please excuse me, ma.
Okay,
I wanted to ask, is
yeah.
this the manual bug picking? The bug shooting is the manual picking, right?
I didn't get your question. Please come again.
Because you told us that a pen tester must know how to do a manual bug picking. So I'm now asking, this bug shoot that you're doing now, is it the manual bug picking?
Okay, I've not even started using it. I'm still telling you how to trap the traffic. But this same Bob suite can be used to do manual hacking and can also be used to do automated. But all of those will be covered in a more detailed section. I'm just showing you how to trap. If you notice, when I was trying to send the traffic on the browser, it didn't move. My Bob suite trapped it, and now you're seeing this information on the screen. So now I can start my hacking, right? I can come to these parameters now and start changing the parameters to find different bugs. I can change it to a post or a put parameter. I can change it to a get parameter. So this is where the whole thing gets very, very technical. But I'm just trying to explain to you that we can automate it, and I'm trying to do the automation of Bob Suit right now, not the manual. The manual, you need to have a level of knowledge to be able to use the manual approach with your Bob Suit. You need to understand why you're changing the parameter. You need to understand why will I change the cookie section? Why would I want to change the content language? What will I get when I change the cookie section? What will I get when I change the host reference? So all of those information you need to understand. And that is why I recommended that before you continue being a bug hunter, you need to have a detailed knowledge on the different bugs and why you're finding different bugs and how to find different bugs. But right now, I've not done anything manual. I'm still trying to automate the attack. I hope I answered that question. So I can go
Yes,
ahead,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
Yeah. So now,
Yeah.
how do I even prove to you that that website has not sent any information out, but has sent it to our Bob suite? Now, this is still the proxy. Look at the proxy intercept. It's still on. Now, I'll go back, even though our PC is really, really lagging, but I'll go back to this same place, and then I'll open the same web page we opened. Yeah. Now, look at this sign. You know, when a website is routing or when you refresh a website, it would have, by this time, it would have run completely, rotated completely, and send the information out. So right now, this website is paused. It's like you're a middleman. The proxy too can be called a middleman. It's in the middle between you and the browser, you and the website you're trying to reach. So right now, it has sent information to your Bob suite. So your Bob suite have trapped the information because the intercept is still on. It has intercepted the traffic. Remember, there's something called the middleman. There's something called the someone sniffing your information as a third party. So I'm in between the conversation between my Chrome and my Firefox browser and this Portswigan website. So I'm in their middle and I've not released the traffic. So the traffic is still paused. And now this server, this Portswigan server does not even know I am using a proxying to get this traffic. So until I release the information on my what is it called, on my Bob suite, this will not complete sending. It will stay like this. Now, how do I also prove that to you? I will take you back to, okay. Now I'm going to take this request right now. I'll left click to take the request and scan it. So it will start scanning. And then when it starts scanning, I want to scan it, right? Yeah, I'll just click. I want to only do crawl. I don't want to audit. For now, I don't want to audit. I want to get it manually. So I'll click OK because I've set that. I want to just crawl the website like the word is. I'm spidering the website, crawling different parameter, just like when we use the Dearbuster tool to crawl different parameter. Bobsuit does the same thing, but even does it better. So it's I'm going to automate it. If I click on OK, it will start doing this automation. So I would have to off this intercept. I'll first copy this and send it to the repeater. I would like to send this to repeater. I've sent it to repeater because I want to store the information sheet in case I want to manipulate. So I'll off the intercept right now. If I toggle it off right now, I've off the intercept. Then let's go back to the same browser and let's see if, now look at the browser. It's going to complete now. Okay, so we started a scan. So we'll come to target. Okay, this is going to make our machine lag more because now we're crawling. Now look at the target. Have you seen that? What we're doing before, I opened the YouTube and YouTube is on already. So it's crawling YouTube right now. YouTube is on and being crawled. But that's not what we are interested in. We'll come back to the dashboard. So the sitemap is opened. We'll come back to the dashboard. It's beginning to crawl. It's beginning to crawl. If you notice, it is beginning to crawl. And when it's done crawling, it will show you a notification that it is done crawling. So that information I sent to repeater, let's go check it out. Now I sent this to the repeater. I will drop this request right now, and then I'm going to get another request. Sorry. I'm going to put, I want to repeat this step again so you understand. I'm going to put the intercept on again, and I'm going to get back the website again, and this time around you'll see it. Like, I want to repeat this step so you understand what I did, should in case you want to repeat same step at your own comfort. Okay, the intercept is on right now, right? So we'll go back to the browser, and we'll come down to, what is it called, this same portsfigure.net, right? Now we're going to send this request again. This is not the request, so we'll drop the request. Now I want you to understand something. If you notice, we got a YouTube instead of port. That means you have to be very sure of the website you're looking for. Instead of portswigger we're looking for, we got YouTube, because I already opened YouTube on my browser before now. So one of the first thing you do is you have to, I think I like this because it makes you now understand the mindset. You're not going to crawl any website that you don't have permission to. And you need to be very careful that you're hacking the exact website you are supposed to hack with your Bob suit. When I noticed that YouTube was trapped, all I did was I dropped the request. Now I'm getting the particular website I'm about to crawl. Look at it. Look at the host name, portswigger.net. The other request I got was youtube.com, and I'm not supposed to crawl youtube.com or hack youtube.com. So this is the exact website I was supposed to crawl. So what I will do is I'll still repeat the same process. I'll send it to the repeater. If I send it to the repeater, I'll also want to scan this website for it to automate the scanning and find vulnerabilities and report for me that I can use to um have an insight on how to hack this website. So I'll click scan, and when the scan starts, I like to just do only, okay, for your sake, I'll do scan on audit. So you see how it gives you the scan and the audit, telling you the vulnerabilities that are on each particular uh parameter it finds. So I'll just click OK. I'll click OK. Okay, so I'll click OK for the scan to start. So we'll just use let's use light wave. Let's not make it hard. So let's choose that, and then let's quickly start. Now the attack has started. How do we know? Let me repeat the same step. We'll go back to the same website. Proxy is still on here, right? If proxy is still on means I'm still holding on to the traffic. So I'll go back here to the same Portswigger website, and then you realize what I said. This is still being paused because the traffic is still going through my Bob suit. So we're still sniffing information. Let's use that word. So nothing is going to move here because we're still post the server is still sending traffic through the proxy, and the proxy has not released the information because the proxy server is still on. So what we're going to do now, we'll go back to my proxy because I already gone to, let's go and check if we have our right target by clicking target map. Now notice what happened. There's a port trigger right here. But before I come to this, let me quickly show you something. I will have to go to the intruder. I'll come to proxy and then off the proxy tab. I'll turn it off. If I turn it off now, if we go back to the same website, if we go back to this website, we realize that we realize that everything will move fine right now because we've released the information. The proxy is being turned off. So look at it. It has completed the information sending or the reaching out to the server. It has completed it, right? So now I want to show you a few information you need to know about the Bob suite, right? Now coming back to the Bob suite, we're still on the proxy tab. Now let me explain what does the proxy tab does. The proxy tab is used to intercept traffic. It's used to intercept, as the word, it intercepts the traffic, allows you to manipulate, allows you to send information to the repeater and manipulate. Now, the repeater is a place where you can probably change a few terms, manipulate things, edit things. What do I mean? I can delete this user content. Let's say there's a vulnerability I find in the user content. See, I could possibly delete it and add to whatever I want to add to it. Are you seeing it? I can delete. If I know, if I want to try a cross-site scripting attack here, I can put my payload in this place and run the attack. And the response here, this side of the dashboard shows me if what the attack I ran is okay or 200. Remember, 200 means okay. What you did is perfect, is working. You can access this information. I hope you know all of those information. Now, this is why Bob Suite is good. I can attack any of these host headers. They are called headers. I can attack the accept header. I can attack the referrer header. I can attack the host header. I can do an S forwarded attack. Any of this attack, I can run it here on the repeater. Now, I'm going to explain the target section for you. Now, I'll clicking on the target. Now, I want to show you something very important as a bug hunter you would want to do. Now, we have different websites trapped on our, see, there's robot.txt. Remember, it's crawling it already. Now, one of the first thing I will do to make sure I'm not getting information from different websites so that I don't mistakenly hack the website I don't want to hack, because now my Bob suite is in between my browser. So it can pick different traffics. Firefox picks different traffic from different applications you already have opened. So one of the first thing I would do is I'll click on this particular port swigger and then I'll add it to scope. What do I mean? I'll add to scope. See the option, add to scope. So this is the scope. This is the website, or this is the program, or this is the system I'm attacking. And I'll click OK. Now that I've added it to scope, I'll come to this place and then I'll say show only in scope items. Show only in scope items, right? I'll mark it and then I'll click apply. Now I'm making sure that I am not hacking what I'm not supposed to hack. I'm making sure that the only traffic on my Bob suite is everything concerning the website I'm attacking. Now looking at it, all of the YouTube and other information I have already cleared out. So all I have here right now is the portswigger.net. Now I want to make this scan more. See, informations are being stored under here right now for me. If you keep breaking them down, you keep seeing all the things is crawling, is spidering the website, is crawling the website. Now, I would want to make it more vigorous. I will do active scan. See, there are different options. You can do an ordinary scan. You can do a passive scan, an active scan. Now, most of the time, when you do an active scan on your website, it leaves some information. If you don't know how to do this comfortably, you can actually cause a denial of service, because you would have sent a lot of requests to the server, and at the same time, if the server is not built in a way that it can contain these traffics, it can cause them a denial of service. So, but I know this will not cause a denial of service, so I'll click that, and you notice that I'm getting information on my content boss. Informations are coming in from my content boss right now. Yeah. So where you see the method, you see the URL, you see the parameter, you see the status code, you see the length, you see the all of this information are very important as regarding bug hunting, right? So now see what's happening. The more you're scrolling and seeing vulnerabilities is in this issues, it's telling us what kind of vulnerability is there. So if I know this kind of vulnerability, let's say it gives us an cross-site scripting vulnerability. I know, okay, this website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. Quickly, I'll come to their website. I'll just jump on their website and start finding the vulnerability. I'll just jump on the website and start finding that vulnerability because now I have a positive alert that this website is vulnerable to this attack. So we'll jump to the website, or if you're good at it, you can even do that attack here on the same Bob suite. But a lot of time I like to go back to the website so that I have a direct access to the website so that I'll be able to hack directly on the vulnerable parameter. If you have a question so far, I would want you to ask, but if you don't, I'm going to show you one manual way I'll find cross-site scripting on a live website right now before we can go, before we wrap up this section and prepare for the next section. And there, I don't know if anybody have a question, but if you don't have a question, then I'll quickly want us to um, continue with the next phase of the seminar, right? So this is still crawling. This takes a lot of time. Most times it takes up to an hour, 30 minutes, depending how voluminous the website is. If that web application is quite voluminous, then I promise you it's going to take a lot of time to finish scanning and crawling and auditing the website. This being said, I'm going to put off my buff suit so that I'll show you manually how to find a cross-site scripting attack on a website if that is the kind of bug you'd want to start finding. But I recommend you find cross-site scripting attack. The reason is this: a lot of websites are always very vulnerable. There are a lot of inputs that you can input that the web developer cannot all comment out. Yes, cross-site scripting is trying to inject a script into the script statement or the script code of the website, how it was originally built. For you to be able to leave a script and the website runs the browser script and also runs your own script, then that means that website is vulnerable to that kind of attack. So I recommend that you find cross-site scripting on website, or one of the bugs you would want to find on those websites. There's SQL, there's command injection, but I'm saying stuff for a beginner that you can easily find on website. So this being said, I'm going to power off my Bob suit so we can have a better performing PC, right? Okay, so let's quickly come back to okay. So this is let's quickly come back here. I will okay. So this is a website called presslondon.com, right? So they deal on beverages. Now I'm going to establish a concept that you should understand. Cross-site scripting, one of the ways cross-site scripting work is I can do a left click and see, I can either inspect this in the developer tool, I can view source, page source. Now this is how this website is built. These are the HTML, CSS, JavaScript functionality of this website. Now, if you want to find cross-site scripting, this is one of the first tips you need to know. You need to understand every of these footers, headers. You should understand a good knowledge. You should understand a good you should have a level of knowledge on cross-site scripting on JavaScript, HTML, CSS. for you to be very effective, not just only for cross-site scripting, for almost all the attacks you run on a website, even command injection. You should understand what the website is saying. You should be able to read the source code and say, okay, this is what this website is saying, and in this particular parameter, what can I impute here to change things, to make things work for my favor, right? Now, this is for a high level knowledge, but I'm just trying to show you that this is the source code, the browser source code this website is written on. And if you understand how to read source code, first thing you would want to do as a hacker is to go down and see if you can download the source code, or you can spend time reading through the source code and see if there are places where the developer is allowing you to impute some search or some parameters that can cause you to escalate privilege on this website. Now, this being said, we'll go back to the website, press London, and then I'll just close the source code, and then we'll go back. Okay, so this is the website. Now, we already know that the website is a drink website. Now, I want to show you, I can either crawl this website with my Bob suite to get all the parameters. Now, but I told you I'm going to do it manually. And that simply means I'm not going to use any tool to crawl. I'm just going to find this bug directly on this website. So what I'll just do is, because I'm looking for cross-site scripting, there are places that interest me. You see, search, you see, about us, you see, input. Anywhere there's an input field, write the name of the product you want to buy. I can impute a payload there. I can put a cross-site scripting payload there, and I will get information. Now, what are the informations you're getting as a cross-site scripter? You're getting cookie section. You know what you can do with cookie section. If you get someone cookie section, you can be logged in as the person. You can if the website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting and is releasing people's cookie information, you can create a website that looks like this, or copy the same link, impute a dangerous HTTPS link, where if you send it to them, they will think it's the same website and they will fill their information, and the cookie will be sent back to your own website, and then you can come in and log in as the same person with a cookie manager. You already know this. So we're going to search if this website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting and if it is releasing cookie information. Obviously, it should be. So one of the first thing I will do is I'll go to this search parameter. How do we know? We need to know if this is vulnerable. So the first thing I put is I try to put my name. I can just put anything random. Or maybe let's put a hello, something they don't have, so we don't get confused. I don't think anything like this is on this server, right? So when we search it, so when we search, we click the search button, right? See, it's releasing back that information on the screen. See the hello, see the hello. It's releasing it back to the screen. So we know this is a way of releasing information back. What about if we tamper this parameter by putting a cross-site scripting payload that can allow us steal the cookie section? Now, I know this may come too intense, but if you listen to me properly, you understand what I'm trying to say. If the website is releasing information, that means the JavaScript um, statement here is asking that on a search function, release this information to the screen. This is what the person is searching for. Now we're searching for hello, and there's nothing like that, but we got the information back on the screen as hello, but there is nothing as hello here, right? So what I would want to do quickly is to put a payload and see if it will release that information. Now, like I told you, hacking is not 100%, it's a 50-50 chance. You just know you're just trying to break the functionality of the website, the original functionality of any system. You're trying to do something to make it give you a different information. This being said, I will quickly go to my notepad. I already have a list of cross-site scripting um notes I can use, payload I can use, right? So I'll just copy this, right? So what am I saying here, right, friends? I'm saying that now we know that double quotation, all of these parameters are used to um, comment out their own cross-site scripting or their own script statement on the website. So double quotation and the direction bracket or the greater than sign is commenting out their um JavaScript statement, because this is a JavaScript payload I'm putting on the website. And if this work, it means they are vulnerable to JavaScript attack. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to say is either you complete their own function, run their function, and after you're done running their function, I'm trying to upload an image that is IMG, and the source to the image. If you try to check the source to the image and there's an error, if there's an error, obviously I'm not uploading any image, so there will be an error. So when this error occurs, alert me the cookie section of this individual or on this website. Now we'll come back to the same website and then we'll click um yeah, come back to the same website. Now come to this place, this same functionality, search functionality, and then I will just put the paste that same payload I copied in here, and then I'll click the enter button and watch and see if this website will release a form of information to us. Obviously, this is the cookie section. So what will the attacker do? At this point, if you're a bug bounty hunter, you just do a screenshot. That's all. You screenshot this screen. Probably while you were finding it, so most of the time, now this is a good point I need to say. Most of the time, it's good when you find out that there's a vulnerability in a particular website. Next thing you quickly do is you get your video recorder. So you record the screen because they need a proof to show that you found this bug and you exploited it, right? So you give them a screenshot of these that I searched on this parameter and this is the payload I put and this is the website popping up this the cookie section. So this website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting attack. And the beautiful thing is that what the attacker does is that they go to the top, this top where this what's this called, the link is, they can infiltrate the link and send it to a person who uses this particular website, and they will think it's the same website and they will log in. And when they log in, they'll be automated with a cookie. You already know that. And then the cookie will be sent to the hacker's back door. They would have created a back door for that. And when it's sent to the hacker back door, the hacker copies the cookie section, goes to the same website, have a cookie manager, get logged in back as the same person and can do the same thing the same person is doing. So this being said, we're going to stop here today and we're going to advance our classes. We're going to start finding bugs both on the source code and other manual ways of finding these bugs. And if we don't have any question, then we would want to say thank you for having me and thank you for